Hi, welcome to the Badass Breastfeeding Podcast. This is Dianne, your lactation consultant.
And this is Abby, the Badass Breastfeeder. And today's episode is brought to you by Limerick Breast Pumps. Limerick's pumps have patented Comfort Touch technology that mimics the way your baby nurses and are all FDA qualified for the highest safety rating. And we will hear more from our sponsor later, but we have,
What do we have?
You can head to Badass Breastfeeding. I don't know. We have this sponsor, and you can find that sponsor and all of our sponsors at badassbreastfeedingpodcast.com. Head there if you need anything. See if you can give them any of your business because they make this podcast possible. And while you're there, scroll down and enter your email address, and we will send the episode straight to your inbox every week. And we are on Patreon. We hope that you join us. If you don't know what Patreon is, it is a little community, and there's different tiers of which you can join, and there's different benefits. And if you head to the top link, you can find each tier and its described benefits of extra episodes and mini podcasts. And we have weekly wellness checks where people talk about what's going on with them and seek advice or just vent. Anything goes in here. So join us. And we're still holding our ongoing giveaway for people who leave reviews around the internet. Send a screenshot of your review over to badassbreastfeedingpodcast@gmail.com along with your address, and we will send a goodie bag to your house. Very exciting. And we hope that you will join us in Indianapolis at Babies and Bumps. You can find the Patreon link at the top of the show notes and the link to the Babies and Bumps Indianapolis ticklets. To Babies and Bumps is going all around the country. We will not be at every one, but if there is one in your city, we highly recommend it because it's just really a lot of fun. And if you're in Indianapolis, please join us because we will be there on August 6th. And we would love to meet you. We've met a lot of listeners in Detroit and Cincinnati so far, and it's been really fun. And now Dianne has our review of the week.
It says, these women talk about a lot of stuff that's not talked about during motherhood and breastfeeding. I've learned lots of new things from them. I'm so glad I found this podcast and the information they provide is all accurate. If you're struggling with breastfeeding, pumping, or just motherhood in general, this podcast is for you. Dianne is a lactation consultant and Abby is an experienced breastfeeder. So rest assured that what you'll listen to is 100% right. I love that she put in here that we talk about stuff that's not talked about during motherhood and breastfeeding, because we really try to do that. We really try to make sure that, we're making this realistic, because there's a lot of stuff that does not get talked about.
It's true.
Or it gets
or they're just wrong about it.
Yeah. It makes it sound like it's just honey-coated, sugar-coated.
Honey-coated.
Yeah. But it really makes it sound like, oh, this is so great. This is so great.
Mm-hmm.
Yet it's not most of the time.
I don't know.
It's really hard when
it's just you're not supposed to have any feelings. You're supposed to just be happy about it. Nobody has time for any negativity. Nobody knows how to deal with any of that.
Yeah. And then you have this baby and then you're like, why don't I feel like that?
Right. I'm super stressed out and afraid and filled with anxiety. And I must be the only one because everyone else is just so happy.
I think you're just not.
We're not.
Really, we just do not
it's
realize.
All a lie.
Yeah. You just do not realize.
And some people straight up lie to themselves. I mean, they'll just push the feelings down. And
if you don't have somebody to ask,
yeah.
I got a text yesterday from one of my clients, I was in the grocery store or whatever, but she texted me and she's like, I just have a quick question. Between the hours of 7 p.m. and 10 p.m., the baby just wants to eat all the time, but during the day, he seems to be completely content after breastfeeding. Am I doing something wrong? Is this normal? What's happening? I'm like, nope, totally normal. Kind of went in to explain to her, what was going on there. And she was like, oh, okay. But if you don't have somebody to ask, if she couldn't just shoot me a quick text and be like, hey, let me just ask you this quick question about this. Is this okay? Like you're sitting there thinking, I don't have enough milk right now. What's going on? The baby's not getting enough. I'm just going to give bottles. Like you're not told all of these little things.
No. And the reality is that we are all seen as consumers. And so all of these norms and the stuff that we think about our babies really does come from marketing. It's like if your baby is fussy, try this bottle. Your baby is probably gassy. Have these gas drops. Your baby doesn't sleep through the night. You need this kind of swing
Swaddle
or this kind of you need something. It's like that. So then we get to feel, or we get to learn that these things aren't normal, but they are. You don't need gas drops for your baby. Babies are gassy. They don't know how to push it out. That's it. End of story. That's just what they're going to be going through. But like, there's an opportunity here to, to sell something, to market something. It really is. I don't think that people can fully grasp, or really do always fully grasp how much information we are sold.
Yeah. Yeah. I was talking about this actually when I did my seminar at Babies and Pumps in Cincinnati. And I was saying, like, I can't even remember how it came up, but I was like, babies are $1 billion industry.
Trillion.
Like, if you have if you live in one of those cities where you have a bye-bye baby or, something like that, those are huge stores filled with nothing but baby stuff
that you don't need.
Right. And you walk in there and you're like making a registry and you're like, oh my God, look at all this stuff. And it's like
a bunch of shit nobody needs. You need a baby carrier. And then that's what like baby registry should be. It should just be a bunch of shit for you. It's like, I want these bath bombs. I want this shirt. I want these shoes.
New
and
bathrobe.
I want
nursing clothes.
That's what it fucking should be. Honest to God.
Yeah.
Your baby doesn't need anything. Your baby needs you to be happy and healthy so that you can take care of them. Like, you're the one who needs the stuff, not the baby.
And then you get all this stuff for this baby and you're like, where do I put it?
Yeah.
Where do I put all this stuff?
Oh my God. I remember that we had like one of those jumpers. We had like this play table. We had all this shit. And I was like, oh my God, we have no room to walk.
Yeah.
And the baby just wants to go inside the box.
Yeah, exactly.
That it came in.
They just want to be carried by you. Yeah.
Yeah. They want to be held, and then they want to like play with a piece of paper.
Yeah. Right. Exactly. Exactly. Crazy.
Oh my God.
That's not what we're talking about today. So
I know, but that's such good shit.
Our tangent. Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, we're going to talk today. So when I first started my blog on the Badass Breastfeeder was over, Jack's going to be 12. So it was, 11 years ago.
Wow.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
We found, I don't even know how I found this, or me and the girls that were running it with me. I can't remember, but we found this article. It's just called "Is Your Baby Sleeping Through the Night?" And it's by this woman, Dr. Jenny Thomas, and her website and her like Instagram is Dr. Jen for Kids. And we just love. This was a time where, I was trying to have Jack sleep in a different, like in a crib or in a bassinet, because, he was going to die if he was sleeping in my bed. It was just this time of uncertainty and confusion. And he wouldn't sleep anywhere else. He just would only sleep if he was on my boob. And I was like, this is just so wrong. So I found this article, and I just like fell in love with this article, fell in love with all of her stuff. She has tons and tons of like these little articles just written in her like way, which is snarky and kind of, and one day at the Badass Breastfeeder, this message came in and was like, would anybody here like to review my new book? And it was from fucking Dr. Jen.
Oh my God.
And I was like, oh my God. Oh my God. I was freaking out. And I was like, oh my God, we fucking love you. And I love this article and this, like, all your articles. And and she was like, oh, wow. And it turns out that she lives in Milwaukee, which is really close to Chicago. And she also, I don't know if she still does this, but she was also like would on the side would like sell like jewelry or whatever.
Oh.
From this one company. Yeah, she had just a kind of little side thing where she like sold jewelry. So we had a party and she came over and she had her jewelry and she brought me this little necklace, this bracelet as a gift. It was like a tiger, like a tiger bracelet. And we're going to go over this article and you'll find out why she gave that to me. And it was really fun and she was so nice and we met her a couple more times and, I haven't talked to her in a long time, but she's still being a pediatrician up there in Milwaukee. And her book, which I should mention, which I forgot, which I forgot that I should probably mention. And I think it might be just out of reach. Oh no, I think I can reach it. I'm going to open my really loud closet door. Oh, is that it?
Abby's getting the book.
Okay. Okay. Oh, here it is. It's called Dr. Jen's Guide to Breastfeeding, Meeting Your Breastfeeding Goals by Understanding Your Body and Your Baby. So the point is, like, when she starts the book, she's like, she's a medical doctor, pediatrician, and she went to this conference and there were people saying all this stuff about breastfeeding. And she didn't know any of it. She was like, how in the world am I a doctor? And I've never heard any of this before. And she was just like in her style was like, I have to become an IBCLC because I need to know this. I can't believe somebody knows something that I don't know, which was very offensive to her. She was just like, I need to know this. Why do I know every single ingredient of formula off the top of my head, but I don't know any of this about breastfeeding? This is insane. So she went and became an IBCLC. So now she's one of those rare pediatricians that's also an IBCLC and very educated about like breastfeeding and sleep. And so I just have this article, the one that just kind of like changed my direction of parenting and really validated the things that I was going through. And so I thought we would read. It's just called Is Your Baby Sleeping Through the Night? And she has this part on her blog. It's called The Soapbox, where she just has these articles where she just kind of like mouths off about things.
Oh, funny.
In like an absolutely scientific way because she knows the science. So it's just called Is Your Baby Sleeping Through the Night? And she goes on and on about things and I'll try not to like read it word for word because that's kind of boring. But some of the interesting things are that she just straight up says no. Physiologically, your baby is not supposed to be sleeping through the night because they just aren't built that way. Our culture encourages independence from like minute one. Mm-hmm. And we're meant to believe that like babies are not supposed to be held all the time and they're supposed to be sleeping by themselves in a different room. And biologically, anthropologically, psychologically, that's wrong. Newborns were not meant to sleep alone and they are born to be held. And they're not supposed to sleep through the night. And now she goes into the sleep a little bit, which is really interesting. So this is the part that I'm going to read. It's one paragraph, 2 paragraphs. So in stage 4 sleep, there's many stages of sleep, but she's focusing on the 2, stage 4 and REM, rapid eye movement. So in stage 4, you're completely unresponsive. There's a disconnection between the sensory information coming in and your ability to receive it. You can't hear people talking to you. You don't know your bladder is full and you don't smell smoke. And you cannot tell if there's tigers around. This is a prevalent sleep stage in the first part of the night. The more tired you are, the more time you spend there. You have a really hard time being awakened or awakening from stage 4 sleep. Kids with sleep disorders of this stage will have things like sleepwalking, bedwetting, and night terrors. Ugh. Now we have REM. That's rapid eye movement. This is a complete loss of muscle tone. And that's a good thing because this is also the stage where you dream. And if you act out your dreams, you could really hurt someone. REM sleep happens towards the later part of the night. You can wake up easily from REM, and kids with disorders of this stage have nightmares. So the reason why this is interesting is, that's the whole article is going to be about that. So I can't just wrap that up in one sentence. Every 90 minutes or so, we cycle through all of these stages of sleep. And we wake up about between 5 to 8 times a night. We're talking about an adult. An adult will wake up 5 to 8 times a night. An adult. But we expect a baby to sleep the whole time. Also, as sleep has developed throughout our evolution, one of the major issues surrounding it is safety. We could comfortably enter stage 4 sleep because other people around us were there. And at least one person was probably in lighter stages of sleep or awake. And they could warn us if there were tigers around. That sense of connection is really important to us now, even though we aren't really worried about predators. We're designed to be social sleepers. Let's go into evolution a little bit, because she said evolution is like if we look at evolution like a football field, human beings start at the far end. If we look at humans in evolution, let's look at it as a football field. So the far end of the football field is human beings, the very first humans. Okay, wait, let me just read the sentence because it'll make more sense. Human beings as a genus start at the far end of the football field, and we as a species show up at about the opposite 10-yard line. So all of that time is human beings becoming a species. At about the 1 inch, we as an industrial society show up. And why is this important? Because we have to understand that the way we do things is a new idea. But the babies we bring into this world don't know about the way we do things. They are programmed to do things that human beings have been doing for thousands of years. Your baby doesn't know there's a lock on your door and that you could just sleep through the night. It's fine. No, your baby is like, there's tigers out there. Should we take a break?
Yeah, let's take a break.
I know, it's just getting good.
I know. Because now I'm like, my brain is going.
I know. Yeah, we'll be right back.
So interesting.
Today's episode is brought to you by Limerick Breast Pumps. Thank goodness, because the pain, worry, and stress that comes from trying to get breast milk, sucks with a capital S. But the good news is Limerick allows moms to get milk in comfort and ease. Why? Because everything that Limerick stands for is comfort, and that's with a capital C. Unlike other cups, which are hard, complicated, and a pain to find the right size, Limerick's pumps have patented Comfort Touch technology that mimics the way your baby nurses and are all FDA qualified with the highest safety ratings. Limerick's cups are made of naturally soft medical-grade silicone that forms to all moms' unique shape and size, so they get the best fit with this one-size-fits-all breast cup. And Limerick pumps are the only ones to offer a micron filter, which means no bacteria, viruses, or fluid enters the motor. So pumping is safe and comfortable. Go to limerickinc.com, that's LIMERICKINC.com, and use code BADASS for 25% off your purchase. And see why pumping doesn't have to suck. And our sponsor and the promo code can be found in the show notes under this episode, wherever you're listening from. Or you can head over to badassbreastfeedingpodcast.com and check the show notes under this episode or our sponsor page. And over there, you'll also find all of our other episodes and information about scheduling your very own one-on-one online lactation consultation with Dianne.
Well, I'm fascinated by this whole thing. Like the whole anthropology behind everything.
I
know.
I just love that.
I do.
It's like, this is just not how humans work. And like, we just got here, like us, like Abby, Dianne, listeners, we just got here. So like, this is what we think is normal. We think it's normal for us to have all these houses and have the locks on the doors and have cars and have no wild animals around. But that is not how humans have lived until very, very recently. You know, we're just like animals living along amongst other animals that could hurt us. And we need to be present and awake and together. The safety in numbers is where it comes from.
Yeah.
Yeah. So here she talks about something that I've also talked about on the podcast a lot, is like if you see elephants or horses at birth, you know that they will walk shortly after birth and they're running even sooner, or not even sooner, soon after that. They just start running and then they learn to walk. Humans don't do that, because if we waited until the brain was mature enough for our kids to walk, the baby's head would be way too big to come out safely. So we don't need to run to stay safe. Our gestation period is designed to make sure that our kids arrive in the world with their future intact. Our kids arrive in the world when it's safest for the brain to come out. So we have our children, human babies, are the most neurologically immature primates of them all, and remain the most dependent on the caregiver for the longest time. They can't keep themselves warm. They can't get food. They can't walk. They can't talk. They can't reason. They can't manipulate us. But we want them to sleep through the night.
Because that's what we want.
That's what we want. Yeah.
Even though we don't sleep through the night.
We don't sleep through the night. But we can lay in bed and be unbothered through the night. If we don't have a baby, or if we have a baby that's sleeping solid for 12 hours, or what ungodly number they say we should be doing. Babies need to be near their caregiver, which is mostly mom, which makes sense because this is the person who is the source of food and warmth, and the person who's most likely to wake up when, you know, the baby needs something. And here's where it gets really, really interesting. There is also good evidence that shows that children sleeping near mom have less time in stage 3 and stage 4 of sleep. Now, stage 4 is that stage of sleep where you have difficulty coming out of, where you don't hear things, you can't react to things. That's the stage of sleep that people want their babies to be in. And that's the stage of sleep that your baby is designed to avoid. Because it's dangerous. Yeah. So she also goes into saying that 80% of parents of 1-year-olds will identify their children as having sleep problems. 80%.
Oh my God.
Will say, my child has sleep issues. And that
wow.
Yeah.
That's like mind-boggling to me right now. 80%.
80% of parents of 1-year-olds will report that their child has sleep problems.
That would mean that like 100% of adults do have sleep problems. Yeah.
And she said, maybe we have an expectation for our children that is not based on human physiology and is therefore not realistic.
It's an expectation problem.
Yeah. Our current culture doesn't help us set realistic expectations for normal. Our babies, they don't have the basic survival skills anytime soon.
No,
do we really need to teach them independence? They can't get their own food. They can't walk. They can't talk. But we're working on independence.
Yeah, they can't tell us what they need, but we're working on making them independent.
Yeah. Maybe it's just not a good time. Or maybe independence is not a great goal. That's a larger discussion. of that's very
So
cultural. Is this
frustrating.
obsession with independence, when actually we're not at all, even as adults.
I remember one of our listeners had emailed us about something, and I remember her saying to me, I believe that dependence breeds independence. And she's absolutely right. Dependence breeds independence. The more dependent they are on us right now, the more we respond to that dependency, the more independent they are later on. But you're not getting it in the first month of their life. They're not going to be an independent being for a very long time.
Yeah, we're talking about adulthood. We're talking about their entire childhood.
I mean, my kids are adults and they still need something.
Well, yeah, and they're going to need something
all the time.
Yeah, we're all who's ever actually. When you think about this word independent, like what? That's not. We are interdependent. We are not an independent species. That's just not who we are, and we value this because it's just functional.
Yeah, I mean, I definitely depend on my husband for specific things. I mean, it's insane to think that everybody is supposed to be completely independent. Yes. Especially our babies.
Right.
And that they don't need us for sleep or for anything like that. That whole,
it's insane.
Put them down, sleepy but awake, so they can go to sleep on their own.
Ew.
So that they can learn to go to, so they can learn to go to sleep on their own.
Drowsy but awake. Yeah. That's it's so horrible.
Just leave them alone. Just walk away. Leave them alone to figure it out on their own, even though they can't tell you what they need. It's disgusting.
Babies who have more skin-to-skin contact with their parents show better oxygen delivery, less frequent crying, higher temperatures, better weight gain, better digestion, and less physiologic markers of infant stress. We used to put, Dr. Jen admits saying that she used to recommend that people put their babies on their stomach and alone in a crib, as many doctors do. We put our kids on their stomach. They're sleeping alone, getting really deep levels of sleep that they were never built to handle, get high levels of carbon dioxide around them, and some die. I know nobody wants to hear that, but these things are SIDS risks.
But so I'm sorry. The people listening to this podcast never knew that babies went to sleep on their belly.
Yeah.
Many years ago.
And that's a problem because they are breathing into the mattress, not getting fresh breaths of air, and taking in the carbon dioxide that they're exhaling.
That's how SIDS started. Like, that's how the whole, like, back to sleep thing started. And that's probably why, like, a lot of times, like, your mother or, people's parents might say, well, we didn't put you to sleep on your back. You went to sleep on your stomach.
Yeah.
That's how it all started.
This is an old statistic, but it says 92% of the infant deaths in the late 1999 Consumer Product and Safety Commission database occurred while infants slept alone outside of adult supervision.
That's sad.
And studies recently published show that kids who were never in their parents' bed tend to be harder to control, more fearful, more dependent, and deal less well with stress. Now, not everybody should bed share because it's not safe for everybody. And we know that, people that smoke, who are on certain medications, who are not breastfeeding, these people should not bed share. If you've been drinking or taking drugs, you shouldn't. Mattress needs to be hard. Your baby should be on their back. There should be no fluffy bedding or anything around. No pillows and no spaces around the bed for the baby to get stuck in. So
Right.
if you are somebody who is at risk of, have a risk factor for bed sharing, then don't do it. And you can still have your baby in your room. You can still have them in a crib or in a, one of those sidecar sleepers.
But they should at least be in your room.
Right. They should be in the room. And she goes on to say, she says, I think these recommendations are really interesting. If you were sleeping on a hard mattress without pillows or blankets near someone, you might not get very deep levels of sleep. The SIDS prevention recommendations, which include keeping baby in the parent's room and not alone in a different room, are the same. The interventions are to prevent deep sleep. If we don't want deep sleep, what are we trying to do? We are trying to keep the baby arousable. The baby needs to be able to respond to changing environmental conditions. We are avoiding deep sleep. That's what we need to do. We need to avoid the deep sleep where your baby is not physiologically prepared to spend time in. She goes, there's a whole section at the end that says, why does my friend's baby sleep through the night?
Oh, good question.
Yeah. She says, I don't know. I don't even know what that means. When I ask what that means, I get a great variety of answers. Some people think 6 hours of sleep at night is through the night. Other people want to sleep like they did before they had kids. She goes on to a lot. Sorry, go ahead.
Don't we all just want to live like we did before we had kids?
Yeah.
Don't we just want to pop out a kid and go back to our totally normal life?
Yeah. Yeah. That would be way more comfortable.
Mm-hmm.
But we equate good sleepers with good kids and bad sleepers with bad kids. Our culture allows us to derive moral implications from normal baby behaviors. So if your baby is just doing normal things and we are passing all kinds of judgments on this baby. Oh, it's a good baby. That's a bad baby. Oh, it's a good baby. Oh, you did that.
Oh my God.
It's pretty wild.
My favorite is, the baby's really good. They only cry when they need to be changed or are hungry. Because crying is wrong, right? Crying is a bad behavior.
Right. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, he's such a good baby. He doesn't cry. The sleep training techniques that have been sold in the U.S. have never been shown to be associated with anything good for infants, but they have been associated with risks like more anxious children and behavior disturbances in the long term. There is no emotional, social, or intellectual benefits to the kids, nor has it ever been shown to help us develop into healthy adult sleepers. They might help the family sleep in the short term. We need to balance the short term with the long term. I know it's very hard to do when you are sleep deprived. So yeah, that's pretty much the article.
Everybody wants to sleep. Like nobody's denying that. Right.
Yeah,
nobody's denying that. And we're not here to say, oh, you have a baby, you're never going to sleep again. Sucks to be you. Good luck with your life. Like nobody's saying that. We're saying is it's normal for these little babies to not sleep through the night.
It's normal, and there's a very good reason for it. There's a very, very good reason for it. They are not meant to be sleeping that long. They are meant to wake frequently. It's what keeps them alive. And I think we had a review one time of somebody who didn't like that we were talking about. What was it?
Oh, yeah. She said that we made it sound like every baby was going to die if they weren't sleeping with us or something like that.
Yeah. Well, that's obviously, I hope it's obvious that that's not what I'm saying. But when people say that your baby should be sleeping yada yada amount of hours, when your baby should be doing this and you should be doing that, we need to look at what's normal for a baby. And if something's normal baby behavior, I bet you there's a really good reason for it. There's probably a reason. Because it's not random. This is nature. And nature is not random.
Right. Babies do what they're supposed to do. They're not like picking and choosing their behavior. It's all
based on survival.
Mm-hmm.
Everything that happens in the natural world is all based on survival. And I mean, you should be tired and you should want sleep. Like that is normal too. And you'll get
Absolutely.
it. You'll get sleep eventually. And there are things you can do. I mean, having your baby in your bed is helpful for a lot of people. If that's not an option for you, having them in one of those sidecar sleepers helps as well. But it's rough. It is rough. But I just wanted everyone to know that there's a reason for it. And, educated professionals are talking about it and have been talking about it for a long time. And sometimes you hear me mention tigers in the night, and now you know why.
I have a colleague that one time said, like, babies don't want to be carried away by a bear. And that's kind of the same idea. They don't want to be carried away by a tiger. They don't want to be carried away by a bear. That's why they want to be held by you all the time, because they want to be safe. And that's where they're safe. And people are like, why does the baby not want to be put down?
It feels unsafe to them.
Mm-hmm. Feels unsafe. Their behavior, there's a reason for their behaviors. And it is primal. They're very primal. But yeah. Normal. So if your baby is doing this, and if you have a baby that is sleeping or you're sleeping, good stretches, then that's great. But every baby is different. They all do different things. Just like we're all different.
That's true. Yeah, they all do different things.
All do different things. And we all do different things.
But they're going to wake up at night. I mean, that is a normal behavior.
Yeah.
There's no way to stop that. And there's nothing wrong with them.
Right.
And don't let your pediatrician say, oh, well, they should be sleeping 12 hours at night. Because that is a bunch of bullshit.
And this comes from a pediatrician.
Yes.
So it's not like it's some random person. She is a pediatrician.
Yes.
They're not all created equal.
Have the information. Right. She has the information about sleep and how sleep works. Which, most pediatricians don't, that's not part of medical school training.
And a lot of people end up just not telling their pediatrician stuff anymore.
I don't, I mean, I'm lucky that our pediatrician is just like, oh yeah, the kids are in bed. That's fine. That's cool. That's great. That helps with breastfeeding, But if you don't have a pediatrician like that, they are going to just act like so befuddled. Is that a word? Because I want it to be.
The podcast vocabulary, ladies and gentlemen.
By your baby waking up. They're going to be like, what? Why would they wake up? They should be sleeping like 12 hours a night. I swear to God. That's what I was told. And that's what we did another, oh my God, I lost my train of thought. My computer is beeping at me and I got distracted. What did I just say? Tell me what I just said.
I don't even know.
Oh, we had an email from somebody whose pediatrician told them that too.
Yeah.
Remember we did an episode on that whole email, which was like, your baby should be sleeping 12 hours at night. And they were like so confused when the baby was not.
Yeah.
It's just like, whatever. Who sleeps 12 hours? Unless you're like overdosed on some meds. 12 hours?
I know. I mean, I totally could, but I also have a sleep disorder. So I I totally could.
Yeah.
But it's not normal, and I hate it. I hate it.
Right. And some
normal.
kids do. I mean, some kids do. I mean, when they get a little bit older, will sleep
Like
tend to sleep
teenagers.
that
Yeah.
long.
Yeah. Yeah.
But no, your baby shouldn't be sleeping that long.
No.
Just smile and nod. That's my favorite thing. Smile and nod.
Yeah, because I've had a lot of clients be like, I just don't tell my pediatrician this anymore. No, that's unsettling. That's got to feel unsettling for a pediatrician.
Yeah, that you have to lie to your pediatrician because you're going to be judged.
Mm-hmm. And that's really unfortunate that people feel like that over something that's totally normal.
Yes. We just don't know what normal is. Our expectations are way out of whack.
Yeah.
But well, I'll put the link in the show notes and you can read the article by Dr. Jen, which is just, I just love it. And
read
her
it
whole
and feel
entire,
validated.
Yeah. And maybe she has some other articles on her soapbox that we can read because she's just funny.
It's awesome.
Thanks for listening.
Thank you. Bye.
Bye.